Here's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. On the return, Tremont Smith. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
And some room to work. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And this is caught inside the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Mark Andrews. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Here's Demir Bird to return from his end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Brady. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Check three.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Brady going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Smith to return it. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Running right, Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now Jones. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Tevin Jenkins, the second-round pick, the guilty party.
Back to throw. Jones. Room to run. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Packers pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain. And this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. That catch good for only a couple.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
Second down and 8.
Now Brady. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Well, it's a question that's been asked over and over and over, but CD, I'll pose it to you anyway. What do you have to do defensively to stop Tom Brady?
It's one of the great questions in the NFL, and there are a ton of defensive coaches who are retired at this point because they tried to stop Tom Brady and couldn't get it done. You've got to have excellent defenders, guys who can stick to their men like glue, because he's so good at finding those open receivers and then putting the ball into tight windows and completing passes downfield.
D Ford that time showing what he can do defensively. Credit him with a tackle for loss. Now on 2nd and 13. Brady looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And the Packers pick it up, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. To throw is Brady. And brought in by the tight end Cook.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Again, McCaffrey.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Christian McCaffrey.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, That's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the bootleg. Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't see that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And what a great call defensively there, because they decided to bring pressure off the corner. And a lot of times, those big linemen, they can't account for the speed of a defensive back. And that time, he made a beeline right for the quarterback and got him. The cat blitz, tough to defend.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Jones on 1st and 10.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
Good play there by the versatile Danico Autry. He can play inside or outside on the defensive line. 3 seasons in Indianapolis before signing with the Titans in March. He had 7.5 sacks in 2020.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones, he's going to go deep for Conley. And got his man, complete. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he's brought down.
81 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it, when you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown.
Aaron Jones,
his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
Demir Bird returning it.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Like 22, he's hacking.
Here's Brady. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's the All-Pro Von Miller who came in to belt him behind the line. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. His kick is good. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
These 2 teams going through their final adjustments. It's about time for the second half in Green Bay. So for the call, we go back up to Lambeau and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Here's Damiere Byrd to return from his end zone. Byrd will not bring this out, and the drive will begin at the 25.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them, because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Max 22, Max 22.
Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Throwing now is Brady. And this one too low.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady. Man open, here is Jones. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Watch the pass.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Anderson. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Switch.
Now a play fake. Brady. He'll buy some time right. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Leonard Floyd was the number 9 overall pick in 2015 by the Chicago Bears out of the University of Georgia. Spent 4 seasons with Chicago, but had his best year yet with the Los Angeles Rams in 2020. A career high, 10.5 sacks.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Here's Smith to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Jones again on second down.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Jones now off the play fake. Looking here for Smith downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A give running left. It's McCaffrey. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Brady now to throw. Got his man. It's Williams.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take the...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian McCaffrey.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones.
A check down here to Jones.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Back to throw. Jones. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got room. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Jones.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
8 yards to go on second down.
Now Brady. The left side completion to Jones. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week as he's got a first down as well.
Murray
in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Brady's throw there complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
It's 2nd and inches at their 48-yard line.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Here's McCaffrey. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Five yards remain on second down.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Third down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. To throw is Brady.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range.
To throw is Jones. Here we go. This to avoid overtime.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
Here's Damiere Byrd to return from his end zone. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking deep for Julio. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Caden Stearns.
And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Jones. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start by running the option to the right, and they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd and 12, Brady. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Second and 8. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Jones. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout.
It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And this is caught at the 8. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for Pittsburgh, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
I shall come forth as pure. Have you been tried in the fire? Have you been tried in the fire? Well, tell me, did you come through?